Okay, so we're at a Goodwill here, and let's go over this door a little bit. What's going on? So when I initially got here, the door wasn't making any noise that the customer claimed. So I just said, oh, I'll go through and just do a preventative maintenance on everything, check everything over. And I think there's always something to be said about when you start oiling the rollers and everything, you really start micromanaging everything, right? You start looking at all your nuts and bolts, and you're looking at your rollers and the stems. Well, as I was doing that over here, I realized that the cable was hanging off. It was too much slack. So that was my first indicator something was going on. So I started staring up there at the drum, and I realized that the cable was actually off the spool one notch. So I said, well, that'll cause a scraping and grinding noise. So I got the cable back on, started running it, and I noticed right from the get-go that the door slammed hard on the ground, and it seemed too violent. So I backed the limits off. In further investigation, I'm real happy that the guys, because we actually installed this a while back, I'm really happy that they installed that, because that made my life a lot better. I realized that they didn't put a spreader bar on it, which is okay. But I kind of see why. I mean, we got boards here, and they did it. But the chain, this door moves so violently. This opener, it's just such a big. It's just an AC motor, so it just has that big jolt that it was popping a little bit. Now it could have been because of me. They did the right thing. They actually had a bolt in the hole and not in the slot up here. I couldn't hit that without pushing the opener back up, so I ended up putting it back in here without pushing the opener down to keep tension on that chain. I loosened up this clutch a little bit. I'm hoping the clutch has just a little bit of give when it first fires up. Like I said, this thing it really just has a big jolt to it. And there isn't really much more you could do here, maybe except for like I'd hate to do it. I really would. I hate to do it, but it would be one of the 8500 like Liftmasters or the Genie jack shaft openers. It seems a little underpowered. But honestly, I guess for how little they use the door here, it might work better just because it's a soft, and it might also detect if the cables are coming off. This door is just a little on the, it's right in between, in between kind of commercial, residential. So let's watch it run. Sweet, that scared me. And the cables are actually jumping just a touch, but they're in the downward motion. If they popped a little bit, they're gonna correct themselves on the down motion, so it's not really the end of the world. I also left this door a hair high, and what I mean is you couldn't see it this time. I had a little bit of light coming through there. I might run it again and see if something changed, but see this dock can be a problem. If somebody lifts up on this dock, that could throw the cables big time. So that's not good. Oop, that's the wrong button, silly. This is the right button. Let's run it a few more times just to make sure we're not overlooking anything. And I went through and oiled the whole door. But you see how this door has got yellow by the hinges? That's that lube. If you don't use this stuff, it gets jelly looking. But if you don't use this the Ultra Gel, it gets nasty on the door. It makes it look like crap. It's a brand new door, and it looks like I don't know what it looks like. It looks like bird crap on there. Yeah, it seems like that almost acts like it's hitting a little harder than what it was. But it's right there, and I got it tight, and it didn't change. Let's try it one more time. Like I said, I've never been a fan of these openers. They just never seem to be what I want them to be. I don't know. I really just don't. It's a hard one. Like I said, this is a hard in between. I'm not blaming anybody. It's just It's just that weird situation. All right, let's watch it. It didn't change. And it is getting absorbed by the gasket. It's not smushing the door completely. I still have... Let me check here. I'm pretty sure. I think I have... Yeah, it's not. It's not all the way. Yeah, I can tell it's not. It's making a seal, but it's not slammed. And that's what I need. I need that little 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch of gap. But like I said, if they leave the stock up at all, this could be a problem. But it seems like some pretty nice people around here, and they seem like they know what they're doing. So I think it's okay. I think it was just a fluke. Like I said, it could have been a one-time deal that somebody did, and they just didn't catch the cables off. Something we'll have to keep an eye on. So overall, not too bad. I gotta go drop off a couple remotes on my travels. I figured I might as well do it while I'm up here. I don't want to deal with the whole UPS and all that jazz, and hoping this customer pays their bill. They got a couple of invoices that are behind. They normally do if you harass them enough, but they tend to forget. It happens. So, but man, I always hit this road, this one road that I always go down, and man, it's always long road. It is one of those roads that when it's super long, but when you see where I get to, you really just go, it was worth the drive. I wonder how this little party store did this year. All this stuff going on. I don't know if they're open. They need to get an open sign if they're open. Yeah, I seen an ATM thing lit up, but that don't mean much. Oh. What we got going on here? Boys are bringing something in. Got trucks coming out and trucks going in, hauling in a lot of something, I tell you what. Maybe they can only get 2 in. Two in at a time. Michigan. Sure is beautiful. Alright, back to remember my gate job in a previous video? Oh yeah. Well, it's finally working. It's working good. No problems. Helps when you have the right circuit boards. I don't know if I still have a remote programmed to this or not. I'll be darned. This is the one that's programmed. Well, that's cool. She'll be happy because I can program some new ones. I can leave them here. I'm going to hide them. Thanks for making it to the end. I know this video was a little long-winded. I know some of you are asking, though, about the travels and the roads, and, you know, I know some of the YouTube videos I like to watch. I like to see the locations roughly, or where people, their terrain, where they live, what kind of trees grow there, how high do they grow. And we're really gifted that we have Lake Michigan next to us. It's very beautiful. So, thanks for coming along for the ride. Touch a little bit on that, what are those, MJs? Liftmaster MJs. I don't deal with Liftmaster so much. So, I don't know if it's true or not, but my buddy Jason, big shout out to you, bud. Appreciate you. Appreciate all the intel you bring me. You're a pleasure to be around. He told me that Liftmaster might be just going to the tubes. You know how they have those, the residential ones that are like at Lowe's and Home Depot, and maybe Menards carries them too. But they're going to that square tube. Now, I'm sure it's not to benefit us. And I'm on both sides of the aisle with those things. I've heard people putting grease in them because they squeak and they're pieced together. My guess is it's cost savings, which does not really impress me, you know. And the fact that the T-rail, it wasn't 100% bulletproof, but you can normally put it pretty close to the ceiling without worrying about it binding up on a rafter. I've had it before with those square tubes. I've gotten into situations where it's so tight and you slam it against the ceiling and that tube will clunk, clunk, clunk. It hits every rafter. With the T-rails, they're pretty close. They can hit two, but you can get them down just a smudge more, or a smudge less, I should say, than the tubes. And I don't know. I don't really have nothing against the tubes. I just guarantee they're probably not as strong. They do bow a little bit, I think. I don't know. It is what it is, right? Get used to it. It's the times. So anyways, back on the MJ. You know, I've never had really good luck with the MJs. I'll tell you one thing, though. If you want to learn something from Uncle Dave here. The MJs, you don't want to ever direct couple without reduction of some sort. I did it once on a little door, and it was so fast. I mean, so fast. So fast. It was a brand new door. Customer loved it. It was not safe. It was just, I would not recommend it at all. It was a small little door. I let it go. It was one of those things that we had so much time into it. It was low bid. It worked. And I learned something though. Don't do it again. But the MJs, I just don't really have that good luck with. I use them when I absolutely have to, but they don't seem like they have enough chains or something in them, and they just seem so jolty. You know, either they're underpowered and they don't work. I mean, but I get it. They have a place and a time. You know, they are what they are. But I don't know. I'm just not a fan of them for some reason. The more I'm around them, for whatever it is, I think our vendor around here for another $50, $75, you already get moved up to a J, and then you have the timer to close, you have the relays in it for if you want to do a light, a green, red light for internet. Just do it. Don't even, it's just, it's not even worth the sniffles. So anywho, it's good seeing you guys. Subscribe, like if you would please. And dislike if you don't. Whatever. I don't care. We're all here to grow together. So anyways, I'm going to get to it. Been busy hustling. See you guys later. Take care. Thanks for watching.